So, hello everybody, welcome back. I wanted to talk to you right now about something that you might have been missing in your preps, or you might be miscalculating it. And it is something that you probably don't think about because, yeah, this is something that doesn't happen a lot when you're in good times, but it will happen a lot when you're in bad times. So, before I continue, I wanted to remind you that down below is my email in case that you want to help me out by sending an Amazon gift card. So thank you very much, and I really appreciate it. And here I go. And here it is. Yeah, that is a cylinder. Yeah, that is what you want. So let me explain to you why. So, not everybody knows that I rent rooms in my house. We have been doing this for a while. My mother, I mean. And here's the deal about hard times. Your purse will be stolen. Yeah. And then you're kind of like, so? Well, here is the deal. You rent rooms in your house, and you have 10 people living in your house, and one of them gets the purse stolen. Yeah, in your purse, usually people have IDs. IDs have addresses. And then if someone, wants access to a house, easy cake, no problem whatsoever, then you just gave them a key and an address. And if you are a woman, then it's worse because they know that that place probably has a lot of women, or you might be living alone. So this person has now, an address that they can stake out. And if they find out that only women live in the house, or if you live alone in the house, or whatever, yeah, you just became a target. Easy target. Yeah. So here's the deal. Now that you know that your purse is going to get stolen, number one, you don't put anything with your address on your purse. Like, never, ever. You put something like maybe an email or something like that so that people can return things if they do that. But that's it. You don't put, anything that will have your address on it, because if they took your key, it's a problem. So, second problem, if you get your purse stolen, the first thing that you need to do is run, towards the police, do, the reports, whatever. But here's the deal: you need to go home, and you need to change the cylinder that moment. You cannot wait to change the freaking cylinder. Now, let's say that you have 3 doors to get to your house, because you have the main door for the gated community. That one, you can re-ask. But then you have the 2 doors for getting into your house, like the front door, and then the other one, or the back door, or whatever. So let's say that absolutely the ones that are for entering your house are 4 keys. That means that you just need to replace 4 freaking cylinders. And you have a few hours, if that, to change the freaking cylinder. That is correct. That is all you have. Now, each cylinder is going to cost you about $50. So that right there, it is $200 freaking dollars that you will have to spend. Now, second thing, let's say that you have 10 people that need the key, and you need 1 for spare. So that is 11. 11 freaking copies of those 10, keys things. So let's say that, each cylinder brings 2 keys, then you need 9 copies for each one of those 4 cylinders. each copy is going to cost you $1. So that is another, 20 something dollars, whatever, or 30 something dollars, whatever, depending upon, how many people live in the house, whatever. So basically, you need to have $250 spent in a matter of seconds because someone stole your freaking wallet. Now, what do you do if you have, deposits for security deposits for the people that you have living in the house, and the security deposits are $40? Those $40 or $30 are not going to cover, you spending $250. It's not. So you having that person became a liability and became a problem and became an expense. So what you do is now, when you're renting a room, you ask each person to buy the amount of, 2 or 3 cylinders and give them to you as a security deposit on top of the money that they are supposed to give you. And that way, if there is a problem, you can change the cylinder right there, no problem. And it will be, the expense of you hiring the person that is going to change the cylinders, and then, you can deal with the copies later on. And that one is going to be, 20 something dollars, whatever. You can take it out of the $50 deposit for each person. Now, if you're in good times, you have a security deposit of, 1 month, which might be, $1,100, $1,200. That can cover, the cylinders and stuff like that. Yeah, but still, it's going to be a problem. Because you need to replace all of the keys. You need to replace the cylinders, you need to replace the keys, you have a few minutes or hours to do this. And then on top of that, here's the thing. People do not do maintenance of the doors. I mean, come on, when was the last time that you took oil and stuff like that, and then you put, the maintenance for the cylinders and the doorknobs and people do not even clean their freaking doorknobs. That's my job. That's what I do in my house. But people do not do it. I am kind of like a maniac about that because, I do all the stuff that, nobody cares about doing and they think it's a waste of time or something, or they have better things to do. So I kind of have a record of things. But still, even though I do the maintenance, with the oil thing, whatever, I still have a problem. And it is the fact that, cylinders do break. And not only that, but they can lock you inside your house and then you'll be in trouble. Like right now, we have a problem because the cylinder just broke. It doesn't move. If it doesn't move left or right, then basically you need to figure out how the hell to open the door without using the cylinder, which is, another big problem. So you need to also be aware of something. If you're renting a room for somebody else, and that person knows that if they get their keys stolen, it's going to become an expense for them, what people do is people go ask, one of the roommates and say, hey, give me your key. I'm going to take a copy. And that way, I don't have to tell anyone that I lost the key. Yeah, that is why you need to mark each person's keys differently. And you need to have a written record that they do not know about. So basically, you kind of have like a tool that will mark each key that you make a copy. You need to put the brand of the key. You need to put what mark did you do, like a star or maybe a thing, a teeth, whatever the hell you do with the keys. And then you put a ring, plastic ring with coloring. And then you give this person that. And then you have a written record so that this person, if they change the key for whatever reason, now they will get a copy and they are probably not going to find the same coloring, and they are also probably not going to find the same marking that you just did. There are people that will do this with just a picture. I will rather have have it written down. There are people that will do both. And then, in case that something happens, the person is leaving or whatever, then you go and say, hey, these are not the keys that I gave you. And then the person might say, yes, they are. If you didn't have a record or don't have this, then you will have to do the expense. And then that person will ask for the security deposit back with everything. And then basically that person just costed you $300. So, no. What you want is to do this. And, this is not just for renting rooms. This is you in your house, because if you lost the key for your house, do you want your kids? Let's say that it is you, your spouse, and then your mother, and then the 3 adults. So what about if one of you 3 loses the key and don't tell the other 2? Yeah, do you want your kids to be safe that night? Because like I said, if they take you out and they find out that you have kids, oh hell, you're an easier target than before. Because they know that if they take one of your kids, you're done. So, hell no. So what you need is to figure out how many cylinders you need and how many keys you need for each cylinder, and have it ready to change. And you need 2 sets. So what we do is that we have done this for a while. We have, I don't know, let's say 10, I think more, 10 cylinders that we already changed. So let's say that 3 years ago I changed 1 cylinder. Yeah, somebody's not going to be staking me out for 3 or 4 years, right? So we recycle the cylinders and we do not put them in the same door. So let's say that I have door A, B, and C, and the person that is trying these keys is A, B, and C. What I do is, I will put a cylinder in the C, I will put it in the A. The A, I will put it in the B. And the B, I will put it in the C, and that way, if they think that they know which key is the front door, they're not going to try it again, okay? Especially if they have it marked and everything. So, a miscalculation that you're doing is that. Because if you don't have that, you are going to be screwed. In fact, there are people that, have spent thousands of dollars monthly, in these problems with the keys, especially in buildings. Because if you are outside and then, somebody takes your key, they will take the key for the front door, the elevator, then your apartment, the garage, for everything. And you have to tell every single person in the building that you just lost the keys, which is something that most people will not do. And at that point, hell, because somebody will have access to all of your building without being, a property owner of that apartment or whatever in that building. So what people do is that they will change the cylinders like every 3 months, or sometimes they will change it once a year without not noticing anybody. They will just go and say, hey, now we're changing it. No previous notice to nobody, and then they will give you a key, new one, and then you have to return the old one, and that's it. Because people will not tell. Because they know that this is going to cost them a lot of money. If you're in a building and you have to pay each apartment owner, a set of keys, and you need to pay at least 2 keys for each apartment, and there are 40 apartments. Oh, hell. So people will not tell. So this is going to become a problem. And that is why you need a lot of cylinders. And that is why you also need like a maintenance, and you need like a marking of the keys, and you need, a lot of other stuff related to repairing, and you need a lot of emergency contacts for, locking a door, unlocking a door, or locking a door when you are, in this kind of situation or problem. Because on top of this, try to imagine, if right now, in good times, people are locking themselves out of the houses, try to imagine in bad times when you are stressed and you can't even figure out what the hell day is. I don't know if today is Monday or Tuesday or whatever, because I'm freaking out, or I have too many things going on right now. There are like 25 things on my plate, and I can't even find my freaking keys. Hell, for all you know, the maid you went there and swapped your keys. She took them, made a copy, and then came back the next day. And you didn't even notice, because there will be people that will have that problem. That's why you need a lot of cylinders. And each cylinder, you need to lock it with all the keys that you probably will need, instead of you having to go, out whatever time to try to figure out, about the key thing. You need to figure out, if I need 5 keys for this one, I go, I buy the cylinder. It has 2. Yeah, I will make 3 copies, and then I will put an extra copy just in case. So 6 copies. And, I will have 6 copies, and then I will mark it like cylinder A, cylinder B, cylinder C, and I will put a date in which I bought it. And then, I will mark each key so that I know what keys that each person has. So I know, if I give this key ring with, 20 keys or something to person A, I'm giving them this key that has this key that has that, this key that has this, and if that person makes a copy or something, I will know. And if that person loses a key, I will have a reason to even kick them out. And by the way, at that point, I will keep their cylinders. Plus, the money that they, have for the thing. And I will have no problem. Well, I will have the problem, but I will not have the bigger problem. I will not have to spend $300. I will probably have to spend only $40 instead of, the 200 and something for each cylinder. So you know what I mean? So that is a thing that, most people would not consider. Because you are not going through hard times. Nobody is stealing your purse. Nobody is stealing things from you in your backyard. Nobody is, trying to get things from you. You don't have people knocking on your door every day asking if you have food to give them. You don't have people in the street, running with no clothes whatsoever because they don't have medication and stuff like that. So until you experience these things, then you don't know exactly what you're going to have to do. But you need to think security, and you need to think everything will go wrong. And you need to think, okay, if things go wrong, because things goes wrong with one of your teammates, then all of you will be in trouble. It's like I said, let's say that you, your spouse, and your mother, and your kids, Let's say that somebody steals things from your mother, including the key. Let's say that she doesn't notice, or you don't notice because, you are freaking out, you're in the police, and then, when you come home, you open the door and she doesn't realize that she doesn't have the key. See? So it is not about you. It is about you being aware of your security things. And you being aware that other people might screw things up. See, being in a hard time, it will feel, and it will be kind of like you winning a game. Try to imagine a Resident Evil game, You are supposed to go to this room and find this in this room and get it to room B. Yeah. Except for the fact that in real life game, you went in to look for, let's say a medal that it is supposed to be in room A. Yeah, that medal just was taken by your mother, and then she mistakenly placed it on the trash. And now you could not find it in your room, even though that you have been there for the whole day trying to figure out where the hell is the medal. Yeah, the medal is in the trash. Because that. And if you have kids, oh, that's going to be even worse. If you have elderly or kids, they are going to go crazy with everything. They will just take things, place them wherever the hell they want, and that is why you will have a lot of falls, because, people will not... If you're walking, in the Resident Evil game, you have no problem. But let's say that you walk through the aisle, and then you come back. When you come back, if you have kids in there, the toys are going to be in the floor. And if you're running, oh hell, you're going to fall. So it is going to feel like that. And it is going to be like that. And you need to be as calmly as possible, managing this situation, thinking about security. And the first step towards security is the freaking doors. The second one will be windows. Because, what the hell? If you're in your house, how the hell do you get to your house? Through the door. And then, how the hell do you get to your house if you can't get through the door? Through the freaking window. Now, do you need keys for the window? Oh hell, there are people that will put locks in the windows that actually need a key. If you did that, then you might want to figure out how the hell to do that. But, point being that, you need to place yourself in a situation in which this game is not you. It's a multiplayer game. There are a lot of people involved, not you. And if you live alone, still, your neighbor is there. And if your neighbor sets his house on fire, yours will catch fire. So, not just you, other people. And most people will mean no harm. But there will be people that will go crazy when they don't have food for their kids. And they will do whatever it takes to feed their kids, just as you would. And at that point, it will be good guys against good guys. Neither will be right. Neither will be wrong. So, what you can do is just try to be prepared. So, I hope this tip was helpful, and thank you very much.